Here we go. It is the Drake Toll Show. Drake Toll with you from the Savannah Bananas organization. Locked on Big 12. And most importantly, in this moment in time, the Drake Toll Show. Westwood One Sports, the Westwood One Sports app. Thank you. Addie Bates producing. Curtis Poindexter runs the board in Culver City, California. And we have to start this show hot. This is the biggest story of the year so far. You know, in life, picture it. I want you to close your eyes. You're a male, normal body type, normal shape, normal size, normal hair. You got a little like stubbly beard, right? You're 50 years old, and all right, you closing your eyes, you're good. If you're driving, you're exempt from this. And in the middle of your life, you decide, you know who I think is really hot? My sister-in-law. Well, one thing leads to another. You and your sister-in-law get alone in a room, and you confess that you think she's a real good-looking lady. You know what she says? I think you're even hotter. Now, keep in mind, this is your sister-in-law, so this is crazy. You can't take it any further than this. You're just sweet nothings. You've already gone way too far. But what if you dipped into the devil's deed? What if you believed the devil's worker on your shoulder who said, do it? It's just one kiss. Who cares if it's your sister-in-law? Just do it. Well, you did. Well, and then, you get a little bit too greedy and you decide, I love her so much, my sister-in-law, I'm going to hire her to work at my company. Again, your eyes are still closed, right? Mid-50s, you've done this to yourself. But then thankfully, bam, open your eyes. It's not real. It's not real. That anxiety, that like, oh no, I'm having an affair with my sister-in-law and I hired her. Don't even be anxious about it. You didn't do that. No one would ever do that. This is a fake story, made up, somewhere off in Rainbow Land. Unless your name is Tony Clark. And you woke up today, and it's very, very real. This is the Drake Toll Show, Westwood One Sports, the Westwood One Sports app, and Tony Clark has resigned as the head, the director of the MLB Players Union ahead of labor talks. So in case you're wondering, this is like the most important position in the world right now because the MLB is likely going into a lockout in 2027. You're wondering, you are my father listening at home, wondering what in the world does that mean? Well, the lockout will be triggered in roughly 9 months, and a salary cap is looming because the CBA, collective bargaining agreement, it's expiring, and agreeing on another one is going to take a long time. And you know who's at the forefront of leading the way of agreeing on a CBA, a collective bargaining agreement? That would be the deposed Tony Clark. And why is he deposed? Start spreading the news. He was porking his sister-in-law, which we do not condone on the Drake Toll Show. Here's everything you need to know in this case. February 17th, we get the news. Notification on your phone. Tony Clark officially resigned as executive director of the MLBPA. You're thinking to yourself, I've never heard of Tony Clark. What does this mean for me? Well, he was a 12-year vet of the position. Tenure began in 2013. But wait a second. There was internal and external legal pressure building up over a year's time. Well, who broke this news? Who's the rat on the inside? Who would narc on their boy Tony for getting a little something from his sister-in-law? Well, with the pressure building, they did an internal discovery that forced the immediate resignation. That discovery was a union probe, internal union probe that revealed Clark had an inappropriate relationship with his sister-in-law. I'm going to read this next sentence that I have written down in my notes. And I want you to understand this is the worst sentence of the entire thing. Having an inappropriate relationship with your sister-in-law is already bad. Here's where the government says, you can't do that. Here's the sentence. The woman in question was hired by the union in 2023 to work in the MLBPA's Arizona office. Start spreading the news. I'm leaving today. That's it. You know, like you legally, our government, if you ask Uncle Sam, hey, Unc, may I or may I not lie with my sister-in-law? Sam would allow it, actually. It's not illegal. You can do that. And he would turn a blind eye. Justice shan't be served. However, in the case here of very publicly having a relationship with your sister-in-law and then, either A, hiring her while you're doing the inappropriate relationship, or B, instigating the inappropriate relationship with a subordinate, that, my friends, is when our great Uncle Sam will put on his bifocals. And that's why Tony Clark had an immediate resignation. You'll remember Bobby Petrino when he was riding the motorcycle and crashed and they found his mistress on the back of it. She was a volleyball GA that he had helped get the job. Or she'd worked in his office. He had hired her somewhere around there. And you can't do that. That's where it's illegal here. Player leadership, including an 8-man executive subcommittee, reviewed this as a red line regarding nepotism and professional conduct, leading to a demand for resignation. And it gets worse. If you thought that Tony Clark was going to get off the hook with just that, no. You ever heard of the EDNY? You haven't, have you? Start spreading the news. This resignation didn't just happen in a vacuum. It's not like he did one bad thing and then, the Eastern District of New York, EDNY, has investigated Clark. Yes, Clark and the union since 2025. Why? Because prosecutors are looking into allegations of financial impropriety involving one-team partners, which is like a joint venture licensing thing. You don't care. You don't need to care. And Players Way, a youth initiative. So the investigation here says, hey, this licensing money meant to go to players was actually sent to the union executives or used for very questionable spending. Wasn't this money supposed to go to the players, but instead it went to your pockets? So the probe was triggered, by the way, by a November 2024 whistleblower who alleged abuse of power and nepotism. Yep, found that. This reminds me of my now probably second favorite affair of all time. If you were to search obvious and weird affairs in sports history, which I didn't have to today, I already have a favorite. Come to find out your favorite sports figures, they do this pretty often. Obvious and weird. Mark Adams. Remember Mark Adams? He was the Texas Tech men's basketball coach a couple years ago. And he took over for Chris Beard, who left Texas Tech and went to Texas A&M or Texas, whatever, Texas maybe. He took over for Chris Beard. Mark Adams steps into the role. And Beard went to Ole Miss. Something weird happened there. So Tech decides to hire Mark Adams as his replacement, one of his assistants. He would eventually be fired after a racially insensitive comment to a player. But the real story that broke when he was losing ball games, the real story that was the beginning of the end for Mark Adams. January 2021. Our condolences. Dead or alive, Kirk Adams' brother, twin brother of Mark Adams. Dead or alive, Addie?
Alive? No, dead.
Super
You
dead.
said you said dead. You said our condolences.
Yep, dead. Curtis? No doubt. Kirk Adams dead January 2021. We're all sad, whole big thing. We have a funeral. Mark Adams is there. He probably spoke at it. After Kirk Adams tragically passed away, Mark, still married to his wife, he has multiple children with her. Happy marriage. We love each other. By 2022, rumors were swirling in Lubbock, Texas, that this head basketball coach, his marriage is falling apart. And now his wife is scrubbed from his biography in the athletics office. So that's weird. Kirk Adams dies. Mark Adams, his brother's very sad. And in response to this, divorces his wife? Oh, because in November of 2022, a year and a half after his twin brother's death, Mark Adams elopes in Hawaii and marries his brother's widow. It's my favorite one. It's my favorite sports affair probably of all time. By the time he was suspended in March of that year, that 2023, I should say, for the racially insensitive comments, the secrets were out. The boosters were obviously furious, and they weren't furious again because the government said don't do that. They were furious because it's a really, really creepy thing to do. It's a thing you should never do. Mark and Kirk were identical twins. Woman lost her husband, was like, all right, fine. That guy's got the exact, literally the same DNA. He then became the stepfather to his nieces and nephews. And that, my friends, that's an all-time affair for Mark Adams. But still, the public spotlight on Tony Clark leads the stories today. By the way, if you're wondering kind of the crescendo of this, what does it mean for your favorite players? What does it mean for Mike Trout or Shohei Ohtani? The timing is a bloodbath, effectively, for the players' leverage. As they're trying to gain leverage for what will be a lockout in 2027 for them to agree on a CBA. So the CBA expires December 1st, 2026, collective bargaining agreement. Negotiations were going to build up these next couple months. Now the guy leading the way for the players had to step down because he either hired or was doing an employee of his who also happened to be his sister-in-law. Owners want a hard salary cap. I think the owners of the MLB will push for the hard salary cap, which the MLBPA has never really they have not considered. They hate that. But without a leader, you're kind of weakened on your plan here. So this is the same guy who was already on the books for a spring training tour to go visit all of the players in the league and say, hey, I'm representing you, I'm fighting for you, and we're not going to find us in a hard salary cap. We're going to leave it open for any and all. He actually had, again, meetings on the books. Cleveland Guardians were the first ones, and the Guardians abruptly canceled that one. Don't need to meet with him. Also, negotiation-wise, if you're a fan of the players here and want them to win, Bruce Meyer, Union's deputy director, is the interim, and then Chris Bassett, Marcus Simeon, have stated they don't want to rush a permanent hire. They're going to help out in that as subcommittee members. And surely we will keep you updated on who the MLBPA hires. Elsewhere in the world, Tiger Woods, not ruling it out. Not ruling it out. He might return to the Masters this year. Ryder Cup captaincy also uncertain. You know, Woods does this whole new Tiger Woods thing, league, the indoor golf. I haven't gotten around on it, but certainly I will. And even Chris Paul has opened up and talked more in depth about the Clippers, Kawhi, Ty Lue, and given his thoughts on what was a really weird end to his career in the National Basketball Association. We will get to all of that and more. And Trinidad Shambliss granted an injunction in 2026. The Ole Miss quarterback is coming back. That sets a really bad precedent in the NCAA that you can kind of do whatever you want. I like Trinidad Shambliss. I want to see him play. But again, this precedent is dangerous. I'll tell you why it's dangerous and why it's another cog in ruining college football when we come back. Westwood One Sports, the Westwood One Sports app. This is the Drake Toll Show.
Westwood One, baby.
Will Tua Tagovailoa
trouble all my day. I bid farewell to old Kentucky, the place where I was born and raised, the place where he was born and raised. I've been in trouble, no pleasure here on earth I find. For in this world I'm bound to ramble, I had no friends to help me now. He has no friends to help me now. Never expect to see you again, for I'm bound to ride that northern railroad. Perhaps I'll die upon that train. Perhaps you'll die upon this train. You never see no more, but there is one promise that is given. I'll meet you on God's golden shore. He'll meet you on God's golden shore.
It's the Drake Toll Show. Westwood One Sports, the Westwood One Sports app. Yeah! Yep. Chad Johnson tweets at Drake Toll Show. It's one thing to dip your pen in company ink. It's another thing to dip it in the in-laws. Ho! Don't. Even if you think she's hot, don't hit on your sister-in-law. You will promptly be fired. Your company will not like that. Also, don't divorce your wife to marry your dead identical twin brother's ex-wife. Widow. Divorcee. Patty Bates produces in Washington, D.C. Curtis Poindexter runs the board in Santa Monica, California. After looking at your ghost. It's a good song. Quick hitters before we nail down Trinidad Chambliss. Tiger Woods has not ruled out return to the Masters. Ryder Cup could be the captain of the Ryder Cup too. Addy, will this change your Masters experience at all whatsoever if old man Tiger Woods goes out and does his best?
I do not care. We do not care if it is not Rory McIlroy or if it's not my boy. If it is not my boy Victor Hovland, I do not care.
Big Vic, huh? I didn't know you're a Vic fan.
Oh, come. You know why I'm a Victor Hovland fan.
Yeah, Morikawa winning Pebble Beach was dope. The last Matsuyama winning in Phoenix. The last 2 weeks of golf have been great because Scheffler on Sunday is just a work of art. You know what? You know what a sign of the time is? Sign of the times. I love golf now. Something about you hit your mid-20s.
Welcome to the club.
Yeah. Sunday afternoon. When I was an 11-year-old, I would rather do anything but play, watch golf, play golf on a Sunday. But now something happens in your life. Maybe I'm a late bloomer, too. I've got buddies who've just been watching golf on Sunday for years. I dabbled in college. We all dabble in college. Didn't really catch on. Now, my Sunday afternoon, I'm laying in bed. I'm watching Scotty Scheffler create art all over these people.
I don't like that.
Why?
I just didn't like the way you said that.
Touch
I didn't
yourself.
like that. Yeah, I didn't like that. I will agree. Last year with the Masters, I think I texted people. I was like, I feel like a middle-aged dad. Like I was sitting on my Chase lounge watching the Masters. At the time, my roommate was making dinner for the both of us. I was like, this is the life. I see why dads do this, actually.
Was your roommate your sister-in-law?
No.
Okay.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
Mm-mm. For the record, on the record, not my sister-in-law.
Yeah. Also, Chase Lounge, what the hell are they paying you? How do I get some of that?
Oh my gosh, I have a vintage Chase lounge from the 60s. It's amazing.
Oh, wow. I'm going to have to talk to
yeah.
corporate about that one. Wood said it's not off the table. I'm not sure if he'll actually play. We'll see. Chris Paul opened up about his Clippers exit and some spicy details when he joined Carmelo Anthony's podcast. We all have podcasts now. Here is what Chris Paul had to say to 7 p.m. in Brooklyn.
When that thing happened with the Clippers, Kawhi don't really talk to nobody, but I talk to Kawhi about every week. You know what I'm saying? If I was that bad, why I'm talking?
Kawhi be talking?
Kawhi be talking all the time. I hit T. Lou, you know what I'm saying? Like, I love to finish my career here. L. Frank, I hit him, said the same thing. Early in the season, Lawrence Frank sent me an article about how great my leadership was. An article I had never seen. He texted it to me saying, man, this is great leadership right here. I was extremely grateful. You saw I was emotional.
Yes, absolutely.
When I went back, I knew it was going to be my last year, and I was getting to play in front of my family.
How did it get to that point where it ends so just abruptly?
I still was grasping, you know what I mean, trying to figure out how it got to that. I believe in communication. During training camp, I talked to one of my teammates for a little while, and then as soon as I went in the meal room, somebody came and told me, like, they didn't want me giving players advice. I told them, I was like, you were my assistant coach. I know you. But it was just a lot of back and forth.
If this organization has any sort of sense, that number 3 is going to go in the rafters one day.
That's a given. He said that to me before he sent me home.
CP, we all gonna retire your jersey, but your service is no longer needed.
Before I left the room, I asked him, I was like, so, L. Frank, you said you was going to get me a meeting with T. Lou, right? He said, I'm sorry, I couldn't do that. Go home.
I'm sorry, I can't do that. Go home. Man, that's a guy like Clippers legend. We forgot. It's a Clippers legend. They're telling him in the eating room, in the meal room, hey man, don't be trying to talk up young players. Don't be coaching up young players. We can't have that around here. What a weird end, you know? If you told me 15 years ago, 17 years ago, Chris Paul, legend, 20 years from now is retiring, like, dang, man, it's probably going to be a really sad day. He's a great basketball player. Maybe he's a great future Laker. And now he just retired because he kind of had to. And if you remember when the whole thing went down, the Clippers said, yeah, we're not going to do this anymore. Paul said, hey, I want to keep playing. I'm going to keep trying my options. And those options just didn't really. And remember, this guy led. He was leading the way for the players. He was their representation as an athlete in the NBA for years. That was the respect he commanded amongst his peers. Then the young guys came in. The changing of the guard in the NBA. Nobody wanted Chris Paul to be a part of it. Au revoir, Chris Paul. And I'm sorry that no one really cared about your retirement. Guess who doesn't have to retire? This is the Drake Toll Show. Drake Toll with you. Westwood One Sports, the Westwood One Sports app. Yes, the very same Westwood One that you listened to as a child, but with 24-hour sports. Trinidad Chambliss does not have to retire from college football. Hey, an extra year of eligibility for Trinidad Chambliss means more than what you might deduce from that off the rip. Because the ruling was an injunction from the United States government, from the law, that told the NCAA, you cannot bar Trinidad Chambliss from playing in 2026. The NCAA said, well, we already did. We already decided that based on his eligibility, he cannot have an extra year. He played 4 years at Ferris State and 1 year at Ole Miss. Now, if you ask me, Drake Toll, I do understand. Listen to this. Listen carefully to this. I do understand that based on the Sherman Antitrust Act, you have to give equal opportunity. And Trinidad Chambliss could argue he spent 4 years at Ferris State and could not make the same NIL that he could at a place like Ole Miss, and therefore needs an extra year to recoup. Or that he was injured for 1 year at Ferris State and wanted to move up to Ole Miss. And you know what? I commend him for going to Ferris State, working his way up, and now becoming an elite SEC quarterback and being at the top of the conference next year. I think he will be. I think he'll be the best quarterback in the SEC. Sorry, Arch Manning. Sorry, Addy. But all those things, yeah, catch strays. All those things put together here. While I like Trinidad Chambliss, the precedent we just set is that you can play as long as you want, as long as Judge Robert Whitwell can rule against the NCAA. Oh, and guess what? That Ferris State thing I told you about, where I feel for Trinidad Chambliss because he couldn't make NIL, and I understand how foggy it gets with the Sherman Antitrust thing that you go from Ferris State to Ole Miss and you want to have equal opportunity or compensation. I get that that's a very foggy, messy issue in each of these talks. But he's the one he chose it. He's the one who chose to go to Ferris State for 4 years. We told you, Trinidad Chambliss, your contract in college football is 4 years long. That's what it's always been. You know, imagine Matthew Stafford, who lost his at Georgia, who lost out an opportunity on the Heisman. Imagine a Sam Bradford at Oklahoma, who lost the national championship there, to Colt McCoy, who lost the national championship. If those guys had gone to the NCAA and said, well, you know, I get that we're out of eligibility. I get that we can't legally play anymore, but can we just have one more year? You just sneak another year in there. I'd really like to win the Heisman again. My name is Tim Tebow. I'm not going to be great in the NFL. My name is Tim Tebow. Can I get another year of college football? If we could have just given Tim Tebow unlimited college eligibility, he probably would have continued to take it. Urban Meyer would still be at Florida, and there would be prisons in America would be even more full than they are now. I think half that team's been arrested now. This injunction is not the same opportunity that those guys had. If I'm ticked off on anybody, it's those who were only given 4 years of college football. And why? Because we told you, you're only getting 4 years of college football. That's how we do this. I didn't get to stay in college as long as I wanted, namely due to the price. I didn't need a master's degree, didn't really want a master's degree. I got 4 years of college. These guys get like 2.5 years of education, take a couple summer classes online, and then bang, the rest of their career is just playing football, and they can do it for up to 9 years. The Montana guy just got his 9th year. For me, I did my 4 years of college, and you know what? By the time I was 22, I was okay. I had had enough of going to Freight and having Vegas car bombs. I'd had enough of going to Scruffy Murphy's and licking the floor. Just gross dirt and oil and blood and sweat. Scruffy Murphy's is like club. I had had my fill of going to the backyard bar, stage, and grill and having $1 pickle shots, $2 wells, $1 beers. That was fun. But at some point, college ran out. And for every athlete ever up until 2020, you're 4 years after that, you're done. You can redshirt for a year, but it doesn't work in the way that you can play. You can't play 5 years. And somewhere along, what happened, man? What happened 7, 8 years ago that made us lose any and all grip on college athletics? You heard from Mike Elko yesterday, the A&M head football coach, when he joined J.D. McKellen on 3. We need a commissioner. We need one governing person who can make decisions and then speak on those decisions, at least some sort of transparency. What happens in the NCAA is they all go behind closed doors in a dark room, make a decision, come back out, and don't tell you why. The players will have to unionize. They will have to establish a players' association. What's going to happen in college football is the product that you think has been a little bit oversaturated now at the top because of the portal and NIL. That product that you see waning is going to wane even further. And I love college football, but you're right. It doesn't feel the way it did 10 years ago. It doesn't feel like a true amateur game. And I want the players to get paid. But now that we can just go to Judge Robert Whitwell when we didn't get our 6th year of eligibility and say, Judge, please rule an injunction for me to play. And that judge can go, oh, yeah, Trinidad Chambliss, sure enough. Whitwell, in this decision, probably an Ole Miss grad. That's what Alabama did. They grabbed a U of A grad to rule on the Bediako case. Whitwell detailed that the NCAA ignored medical evidence in denying Chambliss' waiver and that the quarterback would suffer irreparable harm if denied this year. It's just that phrase is so silly to me. The judge concluded that Chambliss submitted adequate medical reference and the NCAA didn't act in good faith in denying the waiver. So he said he was hurt. He was hurt a little bit at Ferris State, so he deserves another year. And he'll be back at Ole Miss. And the NCAA says the decision in a state court illustrates the impossible situation created by differing court decisions that serve to undermine rules agreed to by the same NCAA members who later challenged them in court. And for once in my entire life, I agree with the NCAA. They said, you signed up for this. You signed up for 4 years. Now you're going to a judge and saying, Judge, please tell the NCAA that I need to play. Please, Mom, Dad, tell Coach I need to play. Opportunity. Great for Trinidad Chambliss, man, but I'm personally am pro structure here, infrastructure, knowing, right? Not wondering. I want to know these are the rules when you sign up to play college football of what you're facing. Sponsored by Progressive Commercial Insurance. Protecting your business vehicles 24/7. See if you can save at progressivecommercial.com. Around the bend, biggest losers of the day. Shia LaBeouf? What? This is the Drake Toll Show.
Could Kyler Murray be next year's Sam Darnold?
Well, it's Sunday morning and the sun is shining in my eye that is opened and my head is spinning. Was the life of the party. I can't stop grinning. I had too much tequila last night. Jose Cuervo, you are a friend of mine. I like to drink you with a little salt and lime. Did I kiss all the cowboys? Did I shoot out the lights? Did I dance on the bar? Did I start a fight? Now wait a minute, things don't look too familiar. And who is this cowboy who's sleeping beside me? Well, he's awful cute, but how'd I get his shirt on? I had too much tequila last night. Jose Cuervo, you are a friend of mine. I like to drink you with a little salt and lime. Did I kiss all the cowboys? Did I shoot out the lights? Did I dance on the bar? Did I start a fight? All those little shooters, how I love to drink them down. Come on, bartender, let's have another round. Well, the music is playing and my spirits are high. Tomorrow might be painful, but tonight we're gonna fly.
It is the Drake Toll Show. I don't know if you guys watched college basketball last night, but cinematic. Remember when you all told me, oh, Nebraska's so good, we love Nebraska? Yeah, okay. They've lost 2 of their last 3, lost 4 of their last 6. Now what, huh? The crown jewel of those losses, a road loss to unranked Iowa, 57-52 last night. It's a low score. Florida on top of South Carolina. Pretty expected Michigan State over UCLA in blowout fashion. UCLA a bubble team. Here's what was unexpected, though. A lot of wild things happened last night. Ohio State knocks off top 25 Wisconsin 86-69. Blowout. SMU beats number 21 Louisville 95-85. Upset. Number 18 St. Louis loses to 15-11 Rhode Island 81-76. Upset. Listen to this. Number 16 North Carolina goes on the road to NC State and loses 82-58. Unranked NC State over number 16 North Carolina by 24 points. And the crown jewel of all upsets, Arizona State, Bobby Hurley, Arizona State, beats the same Texas Tech team that beat number 1 Arizona last week, 72-67. And then Michigan, number 1 Michigan, goes on the road at number 7 Purdue and wins 91-80. They led 48-32 at the break. Michigan is the best team in college basketball right now. Heading into March, they look very good. Also, I'm watching the Olympics as we speak. It's live on my television on NBC. There's a 17-year-old in the snowboarding. That's crazy, man. When I was 17, you know what I was doing? I was at El Rancho. And some chick's boyfriend showed up, and I didn't know. I didn't know she had a boyfriend. Until we're on that date, and she's like, oh, that's my boyfriend. He's here. What, Addie?
You got really excited every time you go, he's 17. Wow. This guy's 17. You get
because it's crazy, man. I'm sorry. It's an insane thing to me that, again, when I was 17, I was eating crayons.
Yeah, but Ollie's like pretty big.
He's good, though.
He's well known.
Who?
Ollie.
This reminds me of the post I sent you yesterday of how the Winter Olympians are all plumbers.
Yep. Baristas, plumbers, concession stand workers.
You know what? This is a great segue. It's time for our biggest losers of the day. Biggest losers of the day, Americans. For not allowing the heroes of our great Olympics to become true heroes. Here are the day jobs of some American Winter Olympians. Ryan Cochran-Siegel, alpine skier, is a maple syrup shopkeep. Nick Bumgarner, who snowboards for the U.S., pours concrete for a living. Cody Winters, snowboarder, is a window washer. Keely Cashman, alpine skiing, she's a coffee barista. Tara Peterson, U.S. women's curling, is a dentist. Paula Maltson, a White River rafting guide, concession stand worker, comic book writer, and the like. Come on, man. You're telling me, like, every 4 years they compete in the Olympics and they go back home to be a barista?
What if that's what they want to do?
No.
Did you ask them?
Surely we'll have them on the show. I don't know. The woman who filled your coffee up is an Olympian. She's a silver medalist. How do you feel now?
Actually, I kind of knew about that stuff because I know, like, pro bowlers. I know one that used to work at, like, Wendy's while he was on tour and all that kind of stuff.
You mean Shedeur Sanders?
Yes. Shedeur
Pro bowler?
Sanders works at a Wendy's as we speak.
He's a pro bowler.
Shedeur
Got the breakfast sandwiches going.
Yeah. Those are cheap breakfast sandwiches, too. Biggest loser, the Michigan State student section. Mick Cronin, and Mick Cronin's been doing this a lot lately, went on another incredible rant yesterday.
What was your thoughts in the student section chanting
Booker's name.
I could give a rat's ass about the other team's student section.
I just meant the overall the way that you.
I would like to give you a kudos for the worst question I've ever been asked.
All right,
Did you like
You should take it.
the preparation of the...
You really think I care about the other
No,
team's
I don't.
student
I don't
section?
think you care about the other.
Are you
team.
raising your voice at me?
No, I'm. Just
Yeah, you are.
talking.
Yeah, you are. Come on, dude.
No reason.
Come on. Yes, you are. Everybody's standing here listening to you. Everybody. This is on camera. They can hear you. I answered the question. I could give a rat's ass about the other team's student section. I coach UCLA. I don't care about Michigan State students. I mean, who cares?
The preparation...
All right. You had me in the first half. I was kind of on Mick Cronin's side. I was like, I don't care about the other team's student section. And he looks at it and says, congratulations on asking me the worst question of all time, which is a bit of a banger, honestly. And then, but when he does the stupid crap, you're raising your voice at me? You raising your voice at me? Don't do that. He's not raising his voice at you. I'm listening. He's like, oh, there's cameras. Everybody can hear you. Everybody heard that. Everybody can hear you raising your voice at me. Like, no, I'm listening to it. He did not. He was just he was being defensive, trying to explain himself. And yeah, it's not the best question in the world. But you know what? Whatever. Most of the time, these press conferences are fluffy in any way. They're just, hey, how was the game today? I worked in Waco for 5 years covering the Baylor basketball program. Scott Drew, Baylor football program. And the football team would lose by 25 points. And the first question, they'd be like, let's go to David in the middle. David, what do you got? First question. Hey, Coach, I know you guys lost by 24 today, but did you guys have fun? Without fail. Press conferences are a joke anyway. If you're the head coach, just answer the silly question. Be like, the student section did their job. We didn't do ours. Then move on. But Mick Cronin doesn't have the power in his veins to move on. God bless America. Biggest loser. Biggest winner, Addie Bates, for not getting arrested during Mardi Gras. Biggest loser, Shia LaBeouf, for getting arrested during Mardi Gras. Addie, you were there. What'd you see?
Well, he's already been released. He was already back out partying, which, by the way, Shia LaBeouf said he was, sober and all this kind of stuff. And he was arrested because even though it's New Orleans, you can't make a complete fool out of yourself. Or if you do, just do what I do and don't get caught. Okay? Just kind of smile, brush it off. But, yes, he got arrested. He was just acting out of hand, drunk, disorderly. And now he's back out there having fun again. He just tweeted. He literally just tweeted an hour ago that he was back out there and, having some fun in NOLA.
If you get arrested during Mardi Gras, you got to be doing some extreme stuff, man.
Yeah.
Like that, it's not. You got to be doing if you do the typical Saturday night debauchery, you're fine, man. The bar is low.
Well, yeah, it's so funny. Different parades this year, they evacuated different floats because one crew member accidentally hit a federal agent with a pair of beads, and he got really mad. And he goes, "Nope, everybody off, everybody off." And then that actually happened twice. So you gotta watch out, okay? No hitting federal agents, even if they leave their guns in Bourbon Street bathrooms. And then no acting. You can't act super drunk. You can act a little drunk, like Addie, but not super drunk like Shia.
So they threw beads at an armed officer.
Yeah, they threw beads off, and I guess it hit one of them. Which, that happens, by the way. I've gotten, hit in the head with beads. They hurt a little bit, but you just gotta be paying attention. And I guess the officer got really mad and was like, all of you, get off. Because nobody would fess who did it. Nobody would fess up. They're like, who did that? And nobody would say. So they just evacuated the whole float, so it ran down the parade route with no one on it.
So the officer got all of them off.
Yes. All of them. Which is impressive, because there's 20, 30 people.
Touch your float.
Come on.
Float's holding a lot of people. Biggest loser today, Fanatics. Corey Brinson tweets, the lettering on the Red Sox jerseys this year is so bad, it doesn't match up. Went back to the old template with wider spaced piping down the middle, but used last year's lettering template. So it just says, so sucks. They forgot to line it up. Fanatics forgot to line it up. So sucks. Addie, is this good?
Fanatics is awful. They're cheaper, they all look terrible, and they're so expensive now. They're so expensive. They'll also be in our idiots of the day. So I won't reveal too much. But gosh, these jerseys are terrible. Look, it's down the middle. None
we
of
keeping
them,
a buck right now, we ass.
Yeah, none of them match. They're so cheap. We gotta end Fanatics. It says it in the tweet. Hashtag end Fanatics.
James Pierce Jr. just unfollowed the accounts of the Atlanta Falcons, Jalen Walker, and all his Falcons teammates on Instagram. Should Atlanta begin to panic? That's a tweet from Atlanta Sports Zone. And the quote tweet is, "You weren't panicking when the report came out he was arrested on 5 felony charges? You are a biggest loser of the day if you think James Pierce Jr. is strapping it up next year for the Atlanta Falcons. It took an army of human beings to pin him down as he tried to evade police and crashed his car into a WNBA player. I don't know. James Pierce Jr.'s unfollowed the Falcons. Wonder if he'll play in the org next year. If I had to guess, probably not. I don't think that will be the case. Biggest winner of the day. We'll end it with a biggest winner. The 2026 NBA All-Star Game averaged 8.8 million viewers, the largest TV audience since 2011, and up 87% from last year. So you know what? Adam Silver, as much hell as I've given you, as mean as I've been about the Stars versus the World versus the Stripes, maybe it worked out after all, and I didn't know exactly what I was talking about. So you can have this one, Adam Silver. Congratulations on 8.8 million viewers. The Pro Bowl, yes, the NFL's Pro Bowl only had 2 million viewers this year. You're the king. Hey, my personal cell phone number is 310-840-4910, 310-840-4910. You can call or text the show. Drake Toll with you. Westwood One Sports and the Westwood One Sports app. On the other side, obituaries today. There are many who are dead, including a father and boneless wings. Yes, someone's being sued over boneless wings. More when we return. It's Curtis Poindexter running the board. Addie Bates produces out of Washington, D.C. We're on Westwood One Sports and the Westwood One Sports app. When we return, our obituaries and the quickie. Don't miss it. This is the Drake Toll Show.
This is Westwood One Sports.
Too much of that old whiskey river leaves a young man feeling old. That old love you still remember, that you deep down in your soul. Lost that girl down in New Orleans, chasing some old voodoo dream. Levee broke on Whiskey River, got me trying to swim upstream. Getting tired of going crazy, headed back to Tennessee. I gotta crawl on out of this river, going down me in the sea. Shotgun Willie on stereo, words speaking right to my heart. together. Ride my Cadillac back home. Getting tired of going crazy. Heading home to Tennessee. I crawled on out of that river. I drowned me in the sea.
Take a step back, take a look at your life. Hug your children, kiss your wife. Know your neighbor, leave the keys in your truck. Do yourself a favor, try your luck. Take a step back, take a step back, take a step back, take a step back. Everybody stop where you're at, take a step back.
Busted flat in Baton Rouge, waiting for a train, and I was feeling near as faded as my jeans. Bobby thumbed a diesel down just before it rained and rode us all the way to New Orleans. I pulled my harpoon out of my dirty red bandana. I was playing soft while Bobby sang the blues. Windshield wipers slapping time, I was holding Bobby's hand in mine. We sang every song that Javi knew.
It is the Drake Toll Show.
Freedom is just another word.
Westwood One Sports and the Westwood One Sports app. Janice Joplin. 27 Club. All right, impromptu game. I give you one 27 Club. We're going to go around the room. Curtis, give me another one.
Kurt Cobain.
Kurt Cobain, good. Eddie?
Jim Morrison.
Jim Morrison. Amy Winehouse. Curtis, ball's in your court.
See, Amy Winehouse was the only other one that I remembered off the top of my head.
Oh, no! Stumped. Addie, do you have another one? I have one
Otis
more.
Redding.
Oh, is Otis Redding that young?
He's either 26 or 27 Club. Let me see.
Oh,
Let me see.
I don't know. There's a 26 Club. Is
There
that a real
isn't.
thing?
I'm making it. I'm creating it now. Okay, it's brand new.
The only other one that I had was Jimi Hendrix. Who died
I
at
have a question
27.
for you. I have a trivia question. Who wrote that song?
Who wrote Bobby McGee?
Yeah, me and Bobby McGee. Who wrote that?
John Hartford.
Chris Christopherson.
Really?
Highwayman, actor. Yes.
Also dead, Chris Christopherson.
Yes, he is.
Not that long ago, though, right?
Yeah, it was a couple years ago.
Yeah, I mean, 2024. Wow, we had a long run of Chris Christopherson. Always thought he kind of looked like Jeff Bridges. Did you
Oh,
ever think that?
100%. 100%.
Yeah. They both had that same kind of face to them there in old age. From Brownsville, Texas, Chris Christopherson. The more you know. You lived in Texas for a little bit.
Born and raised.
Oh, okay. Wow. Sorry.
I'm very proud of being from Texas.
I am too. What happened yesterday is I bought a 4-burner Blackstone. I decided to man up and stop doing that pansy-ass 2-burner stuff because, I like to host. Tonight I'm having 7 people to my home. I'll be cooking steak, ribeye for all of them. This is a good conversation to have. We can push obituaries because I need help here. I need advice.
Okay.
So I went and I bought a 4-burner Blackstone yesterday at the Ace Hardware. It was the display, so I saved like $80 too. Awesome. Love that. Plugged it in last night. You have to season your griddle, so I seasoned the griddle. And then I cooked steak, and it was one of the best steaks I've ever had in my life. Genuinely. I've mastered the art of steak. I can cook steak. I cooked asparagus, zucchini, my current girlfriend and I had a seltzer. Herbal seltzer.
I'm actually shocked you eat vegetables.
Yeah, I do. I've been working them into my diet now. Tonight, it'll be a lot of potatoes. Here's the question that I have. I'm very particular. Again, my grandma owns a restaurant, so this is kind of where I get it. I'm very particular about the food that I cook and the food that I serve. So if you come to my party and you say, hey, what can I bring? I'm not going to say dessert. Because if you show up at my party and you're like, oh, here are these cookies, I bought them at Publix, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that.
Wow.
That's a mar on my meal. I'm doing ribeyes, these medallion potatoes with steak and, or not steak, but cheese and bacon. Geez, wow. These potatoes with potatoes. Cheese, bacon on these little potato medallions. I'm doing asparagus. I'm doing rolls. So, am I thinking, look, I'm going to be full transparency. The steaks are like $25 to $30. And I'm ponying up for 8 of these bad boys because I want to, make sure my friends eat right. We're all having a boys get together before a bunch of broadcasters before we do the banana ball season, the Savannah Bananas and all that jazz. What should I have them bring then? If I refuse to have them bring food, I don't want them to pay for the meal. It's $40 a piece for 8 people. It's a good chunk right there. But I'm feeling generous today. It's a beginning of the year thing. What do I request of these blokes?
So, I actually don't think there's anything wrong with bringing a dessert over. Do you want them to bring like creme brulee, like homemade creme brulee? Like,
I want it to be homemade. Yeah.
Are you assuming they make the same amount as you?
I am curating this meal from my heart, and I'm going to put a lot into cooking it. I don't want some Publix creme brulee or Tres Leches from Kroger. I don't need that in my life right now. I'm delivering this meal to you, and I want it to taste good and natural and free.
Have them bring drinks, alcohol.
Oh. Yeah, I'm not really drinking like that anymore, man.
That's not true.
It is. I've turned a new leaf. Now, when if I go to a bar with friends, then obviously, then I'll have a few drinks. If I'm at the house, can I tell you something crazy?
Yeah.
Our boss, program director Armand Williams, who's listening right now, mwah, that was a kiss. He visited my home in Savannah, Georgia for that first week of shows, late December. I bought a 24-pack at Sam's bottled Miller Lights on December 27th. There are still like 10 of those in my house right now, and it is February 18th.
I'm actually kind of proud of you. That's pretty good.
Yeah, man.
I will say, though, with the food, like, I remember one night I also cooked steaks, and I also had, like...
Oh, whoa, excuse me. All right.
I also made, like, the homemade potatoes au gratin. I did these mushrooms in a white wine sauce. I did this broccolini, this charred broccolini and glass of wine. And honestly, I had no issues for dessert just making a thing of brownies, like brownie mix. I had no issues with that because I was like, you know what? I just did all that work. Let me be lazy at this point.
Surely you could cook that for Brad or Chad or whatever the Mardi Gras guy's name was. Clay. Surely
Shout
you
out
could cook
Clay.
that for Clay from San Francisco. He would love that.
Yeah.
Okay, so they bring drinks. They bring, maybe not alcohol, but I can have them bring some sort of drink to my home.
Like, what other things do you need?
I lack nothing. I want for nothing.
Air filters, dog food.
Oh, that's I do need dog food. Wow, I should have them all bring one miscellaneous thing that I'm in need of for the home. Pooper scooper. I'm not great at picking up the dog poop, and it's bad, man. Come
You
to
have
find
two
out,
dogs.
though, you know there are companies that they grid out your backyard and they pick up the dog poop for you.
That's so lazy.
You ever heard of this?
No.
Dog, I've paid money for worse. There's this concept, and this is a crazy idea. There's this concept. I read about it in a book by Jesse Cole, actually, founder of the Savannah Bananas. Shout out my boss. And the concept is like, hey, it's like your cost time evaluation. And it's, okay, if I was to mop all the floors of my house right now, it would take me an hour, right? You with me? You following me right now?
Yeah.
It would take me an hour. If it's going to make me miserable and I hate it, in that hour, what could I have done? I could have recorded 2 podcasts. I could have done an hour of the radio show. I could have done a 30-minute study on one banana ball team, 30 minutes of the, like I could spend that hour making money back for myself. Could I make $50 in that hour? Yeah. If given that hour, yes. But no, I'm mopping instead. So if the trade-off is to spend $50 on someone who cleans houses in the neighborhood to mop your floors, and you spend an hour being productive doing things that you love, then why wouldn't you do the things that you love and avoid what makes you miserable?
I guess my thing is I was raised, only child over here, but I was raised to be very self-sufficient. So my dad taught me all these things with cars. I'll be out in the apartment parking lot changing brake pads, changing oil, everything, because it'll save me money and money I could use for future things that maybe I enjoy more versus paying $500 for someone to do all that at the shop and stuff like that. To the point where I can change an alternator in a car if I really need to. If I really need to do all that, because it saves me money, and I can use that money down the line for things I actually enjoy versus paying someone else to do a simple task.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna shoot you straight. I'm picking up what you're putting down here, and I'm liking it. I wish I was more proficient. I went to the O'Reillys, man, probably 6 months ago, for either an oil change or something, and the lady berated me. She's like, "You can't change your own oil?" I was like, well, no, man, sorry. I'm giving you money. Do you want me to go home and do it myself? Do you want me to learn to do it myself? Curtis, Big Kurt, get your ass in here. Can you change oil?
I used to. I'm just lazy now, so I just go pay to do it. But I do know how to do it.
Stupid expensive. I can't get the Bronco filled with oil for less than $140, $150.
Well, mine's not that bad.
Mine is. At the Take 5. I go down to the Take 5, which usually takes 35, by the way. Used to be great marketing. Now it's hey, in and out oil change 5 minutes. Wrong. It has never been 5 minutes. Someone set the timer. I want my money back. Also, I've been hearing, hold on. I'm sorry. This is moments for me to learn. I have a lot of questions about the world today. I'm a young guy. I'm a young chap. Do you get your car washed at the car wash?
Me?
Yeah.
Sometimes. It really depends. This season when there was a bunch of snow, so there's a bunch of salt and stuff on the ground, then I do go because I need to get the underbody cleaned because I don't want it to rust or anything like that.
Needs to get the underbody cleaned. Addie needs to get her underbody cleaned.
Yeah, I do. But, that's the time I do go to the car wash. But I actually, TBH, I rarely go to the car wash.
So I heard a horror story, of a gal who gets expensive car, expensive car, really wants to go all out, proud of herself, graduated college, whatever, I don't know. You fit whatever you want, make this fable whatever you want it to be. Buys this nice car, goes to the car wash, and it was one of those that slap the car, you know what I'm talking about,
Yes.
the tentacle ones. And I guess there were microfibers, micro needle fiber things in the little slap and tickle whatever they are, rags. Yes. Slap and tickle rags. And they scratch the hell out of the entire car. Ruined
that's
the
why.
car.
Yeah, one, if you have a black car, you should not go to the car wash because it will.
Really?
It'll scratch the paint off your car. Yeah, that's why. Me, I have some kind of like a minivan, like the Beater. You've seen it. You've seen Maniac.
Yeah, there's a lot going on there.
My
It's
Beater
a lot.
car. So I don't care.
Definitely take that. Honestly, the car wash could do some wonders.
You know what? Okay, she's paid off. My last car had 300,000 miles before someone ran a red light and totaled it. I take care of my cars. I don't care. She's old and she's beat up, but I love her.
Dave Ramsey would be proud of you. You subscribe to the envelope method?
The envelope method.
You know what I did last week? Can I tell you what I did?
Sure.
This is an opportunity for life and love here. This is the people getting to know the insides of the Drake Toll Show. Whoa. I went to the cruise. I went on the cruise with the Banana Land at Sea, and I played blackjack, a good amount of blackjack. Night number 1, silently, calmly at a table by myself. I wasn't, but in my brain I was. I won $600.
Whoop, whoop.
Night 2, I lost a couple $100 out of that, so I'm up $400. I think at the end of the week, up $550. We've got friends that we play with that are on the team that are they yell a lot. They yell a lot at the table. Too many! Like they're screaming, they're pounding the table. That's how you lose. You get a little bit too emotional. You get a little too emotional, and it doesn't go well for you. You lose money. So I'm up $550 at the end of the night. Here's the problem. What do I do with all this cash? I'm just asking to be robbed now by our listeners. But I don't know what to do with cash, and no one takes cash, and I've got $500 sitting right here to be stolen.
Why don't you take it to the bank?
Dog, I don't have a bank like that.
What?
Yeah. I won't say my bank's name for obvious reasons, but I do bank at a very specific place that has 50 branches worldwide.
Oh, my gosh.
Yep, but I can call the bank, and they know me by name. Like, I know multiple people at multiple branches of this bank.
Okay, so then why don't you just hide the cash, and you can just use it whenever you kind of need it?
Swiss bank account. Also, last night, on testing out this new Blackstone that I bought, the 4-burner, I got oil. I got some Bacon Up. You ever use Bacon Up?
Yeah.
Okay, I used some Bacon Up. It's just bacon grease in a cartridge. And I put it on the thing, and I was, spreading it around the grill, and then bang, a drop popped up and got me in the hand.
Aw.
And it's, like 3rd-degree burns. I McDonald's to old woman spilled coffee on myself today with my hot tea just all over my knuckles.
Are you going to sue the tea company?
I might sue the electric kettle company.
Okay.
That I'm using here in my electric shed.
I thought you were going to say that you got bacon grease on your clothes and you don't know how to get it out.
I did do that. How do I get it out?
Dawn. Just put Dawn on it. Let it sit for a little bit.
Okay.
And then, but when you wash it, don't immediately put it in the dryer. Because as soon as you put it in the dryer, it's toast.
Oh. Yeah, I got.
So you want after you wash it, you want to see if you actually got it out.
Okay. Yeah, I learned that bacon grease is not a good thing to get on your clothes. News
See,
to me.
the more you know.
Fun to cook with. I got to go buy some bacon for tonight for our big get-together. Thanks, guys, for allowing me to figure my life out for 15 minutes with the world. Again, if you have answers to these pressing questions, 310-840-4910, 310-840-4910, Westwood One Sports, the Westwood One Sports app. When we come back, as promised, obituaries and the quickie. This is the Drake Toll Show.
In the town of North Texas on a ride, 100 miles east of the state line, 200 clicks from the old quarry, and west of those windy old pines, 900 miles south of the border, and 300 north of the other one. Between the lake and the rolling hills, 93 million miles from the sun. Won't you take me home to North Texas on a ride? Won't you take me there to where the birds sing with a smooth vibrato in Texas on a ride? 5,000 miles from a big city where the crocodiles and the cacti grow. Go west on Interstate 35, take 4 rights and you're back on that road. Take a left, take a left,
take another left, then another left, head east, and you're heading home to North Texas on a ride, the town where the dodos roam. Won't you take me home to North Texas on a ride? Won't you take me there to where the birds sing with a smooth vibrato in Texas on a ride?
It's the Drake Toll Show. Westwood One Sports, the Westwood One Sports app. After you and I do this, after we enjoy life for 3 hours, Nick Costos, You Better, You Bet, the fastest show at all of sports. Then Bleck and Abdallah, live from Chicago, followed by Jim Rome, man. Isn't that nuts? Like, I'll get you to work. I'll go to my silly goofy, dance in a fur coat, wear a onesie, play-by-play job with the Savannah Bananas, and then pull up right here, you and me, and we'll talk sports for 3 hours. We'll get you to work. We'll get you home from work. You're working that overnight shift out there in Champaign, Illinois, as a security guard. Driving home, I get it. But when you wake back up from your nap, from going to sleep, you're working nights, you got to sleep during the day. Jim Rome is right there for you. How cool is that?
Why would I be talking about Baylor?
And how cool is this cross-country skiing thing? They have to ski uphill? Dog, I can't ski downhill. It's just nuts to me that these guys are plumbers. Like, we always joke how the NBA, Larry Bird, was playing against plumbers and accountants.
And now they're cheating on their girlfriends.
Yep. But no, like, legit, in the Olympics, you're competing against plumbers and accountants. That's what you got over here. The guy who's a window washer and the other dude who pours concrete, and they're just Olympians for a couple months out of the year. That's nuts. Drake Toll Show. 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. What? You good, Addie? Is this like a
Yes. Yes. There's a cat
unintentional?
No, there's a cat trying to climb up my back. I'm sorry.
Nice. That'll do it. It's time for today's obituary. Goodbye to boneless wings. Dead today. Per a tweet from Rob Frund of Robert Frund Law, are boneless wings really wings? A new class action accuses Buffalo Wild Wings of false advertising because boneless wings are not wings at all and are more akin in composition to a chicken nugget than a chicken wing. At least that is what the plaintiff says. The plaintiff continued, saying he believed the boneless wings were actually wings that were deboned. And had he known they weren't actually deboned wings, he wouldn't have bought them. The lawsuit says boneless wings are really just slices of breast meat, deep fried like wings. Boneless wings initially appeared around 2009 after the price of chicken wings skyrocketed. Since then, they've remained controversial. So Buffalo Wild Wings, lawsuit, plaintiff saying they want to avoid the word wing. Like Domino's says boneless chicken, Papa John's says chicken poppers. Oh, well, update, because that was a tweet from 2023. The court says, as of this week, boneless wings is not a deceptive name for Buffalo Wild Wings to use, even though they're essentially chicken nuggets and not deboned wings. This complaint has no meat on its bones.
Wow.
It continues the case to say that a reasonable consumer would not think the Buffalo Wild Wings boneless wings were truly deboned chicken wings. Obviously. Reconstituted into some sort of Frankenwing. That's great. So Wingate is over. Dead today is Wingate. Boneless wings are real. Boneless wings lovers of the world unite.
Drake, are you a bone-in or boneless wing?
I love both, but I do like a good boneless wing.
You get more cluck for your buck.
With a boneless or a bone-in?
Boneless. You get more cluck for your buck. You get more meat. Come on now.
Yeah, I agree.
Doesn't love that.
There's something
Doesn't
manly, though, about a buffalo wing. Chowing down on some... I've also learned recently I love raw oysters.
Oh. Yeah.
No? No raw oysters for you?
I won't eat raw oysters because they almost killed my mother, but I do like oysters.
What hasn't almost killed your mother?
I'm being so serious.
Interesting.
I like char-grilled oysters. Char-grilled are really good.
We'll revisit that at some point in time in our lives. Also dead today, this random guy's dad. Per Breaking 911 on Twitter. Actually, no. The first comment on this is, every hour another Daytona clip appears on my timeline that leaves me more speechless than the last. It's a video from the Daytona 500 and the finish line yesterday. And the caption reads, "A man seemed to toss someone's ashes at the Daytona 500 finish yesterday." So as the cars are coming around the final lap and had just crashed all over each other, a dude tried to run next to the track, they have guardrails, and throw ashes, I can only assume his father's, at the Daytona 500. Only problem is, when the cars are racing around the track, they create a lot of wind, and so the ashes just flew right back into the guy.
Just getting someone's dad in your mouth.
He got someone's dad in his mouth. Yep. There you go. Those two have died today. Also dead today, how you say sports because of gambling? Addie, you're pretty passionate about this one. The NBA, gambling, bad?
And if I get fired, guys, this is why. I feel like, as someone who also worked in sports betting, it is ruining the sport. You could say, oh, but it's legal now. If it was the illegal gambling, that's what's ruining the sports. But we have all these things coming out now saying kind of the NBA commissioner, kind of punishing teams, but really needs to bow down to all these gambling companies. They're getting mad at him. They were getting mad at him. They're saying over-unders are at stake, player props are at stake. If coaches are just willy-nilly not playing guys the entire game, and they're not letting people know in advance that they plan to do that, you're going to have a lot of angry gamblers and a lot of angry gambling companies.
I am an angry gambler, by the way.
Who cares? And that apparently played a part in Adam Silver punishing teams for tanking. If that's what's at stake here, who cares? Who cares about the gamblers, okay? I'm sorry you're losing money. Get good, okay? Maybe try getting good. But honestly, gambling should not be playing a factor into the rules of sports here and how commissioners decide how to punish people.
Adam Silver can punish me anytime. Touch yourself.
No, actually. I don't like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Look, man. I, as a gambler who loves to put $50 on the money line for Purdue and watch them lose to Michigan because it elevates the game, I love that portion. What I don't love is that the commissioner of the NBA is like, yeah, more gambling. Embrace it, baby. But he has to because they sponsor everything. That's the insider trading now. That's politicians are swayed by lobbyists who pay them money. The NBA is swayed by gambling services who pay them money.
Have you noticed how there's no gambling ads at the Olympics?
Yeah, and viewership's at an all-time low. Now what? If only we had gambling ads and Taylor Swift 3 times per game, they would watch the Olympics. I'm watching it right now. Women's slalom. Alpine skiing. Those are the obituaries today. That's who is dead. It's time for the Quickie. Top 5 headlines in all sports. Addie Bates reads them. Drake Toll responds. 1 minute apiece.
All right. UCLA's Cronin ejects his own player after a flagrant. What the? Foul.
Yep.
Curtis.
Yep. Mick Cronin has gone off the rails. If Kansas State is trying to fire Jerome Tang because he took the players' last names off their jersey and said he was embarrassed of their performance, Mick Cronin could be fired for cause yesterday. He ejected his own player. After the game, he berated a reporter who asked him a stupid question about the Michigan State student section. And he was like, why would I care about the other team's student section? Valid. And then he told the reporter it's the worst question I've ever heard in my life. To which the reporter was like, I'm sorry, I didn't mean it. And then Mick Cronin said, are you yelling at me? Are you raising your voice at me? Like, don't raise your voice. Be a man about this. Like, what are you doing? Mick Cronin has gone off the rails on his crazy train. And I once was a Mick Cronin fan. Now I am not. As of today.
All right. Mick Cronin's everywhere crying over
Addie,
that.
can you get Mick Cronin tomorrow, 8:20, please?
8:20 Mick Cronin. Okay.
Yep, thank you.
I'll say that's 5:20.
Yes, put it in my Outlook calendar. Just put it in my calendar.
The first thing you have to ask him is about the student section.
Yeah, that's good.
Yes. Per his agent, wide receiver Mike Evans plans to return for the 13th NFL season in 2026.
Heck yeah, man! This dude is a Hall of Famer. That's my first thought on this. This dude's a Hall of Famer. Long career, Baker's dozen, and his numbers are incredible. He's such a consistent wide receiver and has a Super Bowl ring. Yeah. Come on, man. That's a Hall of Fame career for Mike Evans. Longevity being a big piece of that. That makes me happy Mike Evans is back. He's always a great pickup in the 8th round of your fantasy draft. You're like, oh, yeah, Mike Evans exists. I forgot. Yeah, I'm in. Congrats, Mike. Welcome back.
To go back to basketball, Texas Tech upset by ASU as Toppin exits with an injury.
Yeah, the JT Toppin news is something that you should all be following out of Texas Tech. If you're looking for who's going to win March Madness this year, Michigan looks really good. Won by 11 against Purdue last night. I do think Nebraska's fraudulent. North Carolina still has plenty of question marks. And down toward the bottom of the top 25, Wisconsin, Louisville, St. Louis. I'm not buying those. And I was really buying Texas Tech, given their resume this year, and that they just knocked off number 1 Arizona on the road, only to, in the exact same road trip, lose to Arizona State, the deposed Bobby Hurley, who is 5-8 in Big 12 play this year. Texas Tech losing this game is bad. Losing JT Toppin for an extended period of time would be worse. I have not seen an update or gotten one from any tech sourcing yet on what that looks like for Toppin. But if he's out a long period of time, their March Madness chances are much, much lower.
There's your Big 12 update of the day. If you want more, look at Locked On Big 12. I've heard many people are saying that's where you can go.
Shameless plug.
Oh. Here's your next headline. Napier and others settle lawsuit over Florida NIL deal.
How long did the music just play?
Like 4 or 5 seconds.
How long does that last before we're flagged? Doug, the Billy Napier era of Florida altogether is just a complete joke. They held on to him too long. This was just never going to be, but if we have him, then DJ Lagway. Like, no, man. No. And it culminates in semi-NIL scandal. Just no. Why? I don't. You know what? What I'm getting at, the thesis here, we don't care. We don't care.
We do
All right,
not
what do
care.
we got? What's the next one?
Your final one. Union offers WNBA new CBA proposal, slightly lowering revenue share numbers, AP sources say.
Okay, so explain this to me like I'm 5. This is the Players Association is presenting the CBA?
So the WNBA.
Yep. Yes.
Do you know what that is?
Yeah, Women's National Basketball Association.
Okay, yeah. So a new CBA proposal, so slightly lowering their revenue share numbers. You just got to react to that.
So the collective bargaining agreement, lowering revenue share. Who's proposing this? Is the Players Association proposing this?
Yes.
Okay. Not the league, but the players. The players themselves have decided on this as a compromise to present to the league and agree on the collective bargaining and then play ball.
So it says, according to a source familiar with the proposal, the Players Union is now asking for an average of 27.5 of gross revenue, defined as revenue before deducting expenses on like housing and stuff, over the course of agreement, including 25% and less than 9.5 million salary cap in year 1.
Okay. If it's
you got
good
this. Macroeconomics.
If it's good for the ladies, it's good for me. If the ladies presented it and they said this is what we want to do, then yeah, I'm for it. And revenue sharing is always good because now you're getting a piece of the revenue, right? People are always complaining like, "Oh, the WNBA doesn't make any money." This is revenue sharing. This is if your old man yells at cloud right now, this is money you get from the revenue that is brought in, and there is revenue brought in the WNBA. No, there's not. Yes, there is. Yes, there is. It's okay. You don't have to be mad at everything. The WNBA cannot hurt you. It will not hurt you. Congratulations to the ladies on their proposal.
There's your headlines for the day.
Those are the top 5 headlines. That's the quickie coming up. Can you feel it? Can you feel it? Idiot of the day. Yeah, we go straight from the quickie to the idiot of the day. Sponsored by Progressive Commercial Insurance. Protect small businesses with affordable coverage options. Quote today at progressivecommercial.com. Progressive Commercial Insurance. progressivecommercial.com. This is the Drake Toll Show.
Could Kyler Murray be next year's Sam Darnold?
Reluctantly crouched at the starting line. Engines pumping and thumping in time. The green light flashes, the flags go up. Churning and burning, they yearn for the cup. They deftly maneuver and muscle for rank. Fuel burning fast on an empty tank. Reckless and wild, they pour through the turns. Their prowess is potent and secretly stern. As they speed through the finish, the flags go down. The fans get up and they get out of town. The arena is empty, except for one man still driving and striving as fast as he can. The sun has gone down and the moon has come up. And long ago somebody left with the cup. But he's driving and striving and hugging the turns and thinking of someone for whom he still burns. He's going the distance. He's going for speed. She's all alone in a time of need. Because he's racing and pacing and plotting the course. He's fighting and fighting and riding on his horse. He's going the distance. No trophy, no flowers, no flashbulbs, no wine. He's haunted by something he cannot define. Bowel-shaking earthquakes of doubt and remorse assail him, impale him with monster truck force. In his mind, he's still driving, still making the grade. She's hoping in time that her memories will fade. Cause he's racing and pacing and plotting the course. He's fighting and fighting and riding on his horse. The sun has gone down and the moon has come up. And long ago somebody left with the cup. But he's striving and driving and hugging the turns and thinking of someone for whom he still burns. Cause he's going the distance. He's going for speed. She's all alone in a time of need. Because he's racing and pacing and plotting the course. He's fighting and fighting and riding on his horse. He's racing and pacing and plotting the course. He's fighting and fighting and riding on his horse. He's going the distance. He's going for speed. He's going the distance.
Well, she was born in the morning, late October, San Antonio. She's every girl I've ever known. Well, she was born in the morning, late October, San Antonio. She's every girl I've ever known. She don't talk about religion, she talks about the Stones. Oh, she's every girl I've ever known.
It's the Drake Toll Show. Drake Toll with you. Oh. Curtis Poindexter runs the board in Los Angeles. Addie Bates produces from Washington, D.C. Drake Toll with you from Savannah, Georgia, with the Savannah Bananas organization, Locked On Big 12. Dog, you know what's crazy? Is Jackie Bradley Jr. plays in our organization. So I was on a cruise ship last week with Jackie Bradley Jr. There's a moment in time where I'm sitting in a chair, emaciated after a long day on this cruise, and I'm staring into the face of the modern Walt Disney, Jesse Cole, the guy who started the Bananas, and it's just me, Jesse, and Shane Victorino. Like, what is this? What am I supposed to do with this? What is 9-year-old me supposed to do at this moment? Talking about venues and guys who will inevitably, major leaguers that will play banana ball either this year or in the years to come. Jackie Bradley Jr. being one of those. I'm in a panel last week on the cruise ship, and one of the fans asked, like a young fan was like, what's the longest home run any of you have ever hit? Everybody's like looking around the stage like, oh, Jackie, you take this one. And he like so humbly was like, well, I think I still hold the Red Sox record for longest home run. 478 feet. Like, yeah. Yep. Count that. That's a good home run. You got all of that. But it's cool to see more legitimacy brought to what banana ball is. Addie, I know you were a pretty big hater of the Savannah Bananas before we met. And one of them
I don't think
die.
I said I was a hater.
Well, you're a baseball enthusiast.
Yeah, so I mean, like, I appreciate other people liking it. For me, it's just not my cup of tea.
Yeah, that's fine. We'll be on ESPN next Saturday, so I hear.
That's awesome. It's great. Like, it's getting people involved in like baseball to a certain extent. So I appreciate that. I do appreciate that and what y'all do.
Thank you so much for saying that. That was very kind of you.
I'm kind.
Sometimes.
Gentle, caring.
Oh, it's time for the idiots of the day.
Idiot of the day.
Yeah. Bonk.
I've sent like 10 bets over.
It's a good song. Oh. Idiot of the day number 1. Don't be the H word. If you begin to become attracted to your sister-in-law, don't pork her. Avoid. That is not what the director of the MLB Players Association did, Tony Clark. Clark was forced to step down yesterday, ending a 12-year tenure that began in 2013. After it was discovered through internal investigation, he had an inappropriate relationship with his sister-in-law. Sometimes in life, you look at your sister-in-law during your middle-aged years and say, man, she's hot. Don't do it. He also either hired her in 2023 or began the affair after she was hired to work at his company in 2023 as his subordinate. In the eyes of the law, America, that is how you say illegal, and you cannot do that. He was also under investigation for a misappropriation of funds. There's a federal probe on his abuse of power as well and his questionable spending. Not good. Very bad day to be Tony Clark in the United States of America. Yes, Addie?
I'm sorry. Keep going.
Okay. Great.
This is why Cam Newton said you can't be friends with women, you just want to stab them.
Yep. Don't be friends with women because it will lead to you having relations with your sister-in-law. Touch yourself.
Did not have relations with that man.
That's what I've always been told. Hugh Freeze, also, bonk, you're headed to jail. I think he kept it in his pants in this situation. But still, sometimes public displays of turned-onedness aren't always going to be good. Per a report from Message Board Geniuses, they screenshotted Hugh Freeze's Instagram account where allegedly he retweeted a video of a scantily clad woman who is AI. I'm pretty sure this is an AI lady with her bosoms out and about in a very tight one piece. And Hugh Freeze wanted to retweet that. Wanted to repost the lady with her bosoms out. I love when old people don't know how to work social media. I mean, and instead of just liking this picture of AI woman with bosoms, he reposted it for the world to see. Hugh Freeze, idiot of the day, you booked yourself a spot there. Again, to the old people of the world and the young people, try not to retweet or repost naked women. It will not go well for you in your public affairs. Winner of the day, ball knower of the day, Steven Songs tweets, bobsled is short for Robert Sled.
Stupid.
That's good.
We're keeping a buck right now, we ass.
And that's
that was
good.
stupid.
And that's good. I like that one. Idiot of the day, CBS, for not knowing geography. The Iowa Bears. CBS Sports says a new state has entered the Bears stadium conversation. And instead of highlighting Iowa, they highlighted Missouri and labeled it with an IA. Geography's hard, kids. Yep. The Iowa Bears, except for it's Missouri.
Oh.
Imagine if the Chicago Bears and Kansas City Chiefs were both in Missouri.
Let's go.
Let's go,
Chicago,
Chief.
Missouri.
Another idiot of the day. $56 on Fanatics for a Red Sox spring training hat, and also the hats look ugly. Really, really ugly. JetBlue Park, home of the Boston Red Sox spring training in Fort Myers, Florida. Went there last year. Savannah Bananas, Party Animals, 3 games. 3 of them went to showdowns. Pretty cool. You ever been to a spring training, Addie?
I have not. They're all in Florida and Arizona.
The Arizona League and the
Florida.
And the
What are
Florida. I went to spring training for the Red Sox and the Dodgers last year. Cubs maybe as well, as they were all reporting. I was shocked by how much access you get, the players.
Yeah.
Like, they don't really care. They're like,
I think
oh,
that's why I'm
whatever.
not sent. I think that's why they don't send me.
They're like, oh, Shohei's warming up over there. Like, what? Yeah, like, Shohei's in the cages. Want to go watch him? Yeah. So you just walk over, you watch Shohei on a Little League field in the cages before they play at Camelback, which is a dope stadium, by the way. Really good facilities. That's why the Rays played at their spring training park, Steinbrenner, because they're such good facilities. I just don't think that I'm going to ever go to those. So when we went to Sloan Park last year, spring training home of the Cubs, everything in their shop was like 75% off because it all said 2023 spring training because this stuff doesn't sell like that.
That's between the Cactus League and the Grapefruit League.
Yeah, there you go.
There, I was like, I knew they were. I forgot, but yeah, I normally, whenever I do work those, I'm usually in the office, not at the facility, because I don't think I could. You know, I see Hunter Brown or Joey Loperfido, and now there's a kidnapping or like warrant for my arrest.
They don't want you to bother the players because you will. That hat looks stupid too. And they'll just sell it for 75% off in 3 years in the shop. What is on it? Is it like a flower of some sort? Pineapple?
A grapefruit.
Well, is that what that is on the Red Sox hat?
Yeah. You know, it was so funny. A couple of years ago, I have a bunch of Tampa Bay Lightning stuff because that's my hockey team. Go Bolts, go. And it was because they accidentally had like a sale where like everything was like $5 or less. So I have like all these shirts and hats and stuff that I got for like, one of them was like 67 cents. And now look at this.
She said
$56. 56 for an ugly ass hat.
Yeah, I love when the Savannah Ghost Pirates, my local ECHL team, does a sale. Because, man, I eat that stuff up. I'm a big
Amazing.
Ghost Pirates fan.
Amazing.
Big Pirates guy. Idiot of the day, IMG Academy. Per Tarek Fatal, Florida's IMG Academy fined $1.7 million for accepting fees linked to Mexican drug cartel. Addie, what's worse, gambling in the NBA, the lack of structure in college football, or IMG Academy's relations to the Mexican drug cartel?
I think that's the best one. That's coming from Curtis and I's people. Like, that's big Curtis and I's
IMG Academy? What do you got? What the hell you guys got to do with IMG Academy?
No, not the IMG Academy. You're so close, so close.
You weren't smart enough to get in the IMG Academy. None of us were. Come on now. We're not fooling ourselves here.
No, I was talking about that. It's just coming from the motherland, coming from Mexico.
You guys do the Mexican drug cartel, both of you?
Yeah. We're in charge, actually. Curtis is in charge. How do you think he gets all this money?
How we get away with it?
You're holding the guy who wrote Slap and Tickle hostage. The guy who wrote this song.
How do you
this
think
music.
Westwood One Sports is funded right now?
Well,
joking
how
for
much-
legal
Or
reasons.
if the
I'm
last thing
joking.
didn't get you fired, this one might.
yeah, how much did you pay for the Westwood One Sports? Did the cartel fund that?
Yeah, that's where all the
Westwood One Sports.
Is Kyler Murray the next Sam
Will
Darnold?
Kyler Murray be the next Sam Darnold?
San
He's
Fran
Tua
City.
Tagovailoa. It's so good, man. It's so good. What? Get to you every time, dog. Those are our idiots of the day today. You know what? Throw Addie in there. I'm calling Stu, man. We're getting him ready for tomorrow. Addie's got like 2 strikes in there. Is that Baboni?
Baboni.
Hey.
What was my first strike?
Earlier in the show, you said something along the lines of, if this gets me fired.
Oh, because I said
The gambling
gambling's
thing.
ruining. Yeah.
Arguably
okay.
worse than what you just said.
I don't think that's okay. Sorry, sue me for having an opinion, guys.
They're going to use that in court. They're going to use that line in court. She asked for this.
This with the boneless wings.
That's Addie Bates. She produces. Curtis Poindexter runs the board. When we return, we hear from Joe Delera, expert on the NBA. What's going on with Giannis Antetokounmpo? Why is he being a drama queen? This is the Drake Toll Show.
This is Westwood One Sports.
Too much of that old whiskey river leaves a young man feeling old. That old love you still remember, that you deep down in your soul. Lost that girl down in New Orleans, chasing some old voodoo dream. Levee broke on Whiskey River, got me trying to swim upstream, getting tired of going crazy, headed back to Tennessee. I gotta crawl on out of this river, before it drown me in the sea. Shotgun Willie on stereo, words speaking right to my heart. If I keep reaching for that bottle, it's gonna tear my world apart. Getting tired of going crazy, heading back to Tennessee. I gotta crawl on out of that river, or it drown me in the sea.
thought you'd be the kind of guy to get a day job. 9 to 5, you're gonna take off. You're gonna go against the grain. Never thought you'd be the kind of guy to take a safe route.
It is the Drake Toll Show.
You're gonna break out. The world's gonna
Westwood One Sports, the Westwood One Sports app. Do you feel that, man? You woke up with an opportunity for sentience today. Like you and I, right here on your radio, could gather together. Sirius XM 375, local stations from Tucson to Rochester, or even the YouTube and the Twitter thing, because every radio show's got a little video component now. Even we do that. Come on. It's the Drake Toll Show, and vibes are good. Hey, I got questions. Some serious questions about the back half of the NBA season. Giannis Antetokounmpo, his future, the legitimacy of the San Antonio Spurs, and whether or not the New York Knicks could make noise in the National Basketball Association. And Joe Delera has answers for all of it. NBA Insider, Action Network HQ, Cash That Podcast. Joe, let's go right back to that first little nugget. My biggest question mark right now, and maybe the biggest piece of drama outside of the All-Star break, Giannis Antetokounmpo and the Milwaukee Bucks. Is this truly a beautiful, happy marriage, or is it all a bunch of smoke and mirrors to save face right now?
Feels like a lot of smoke and mirrors to save face. I think with Giannis, honestly, he just doesn't really want to come out and be the bad guy. And that's why we're seeing the situation happen where there's like the trade request has been happening. So to me, I'd be a little surprised if he plays the rest of the season. I think that Milwaukee is in a position where they do have their draft rights. They can kind of tank pretty hard right now, and either try to use that and like a good pick and rebuild around that by moving off Giannis at the end of the season, or you use it and try to like acquire talent to put around Giannis if that's the way that you want to go. So those are the couple things that I really see, but I don't really see a scenario where they are trying to win going forward in this season.
Joe, I want to take you back a little bit to the All-Star break. Felt again, rising stars wise, and the various competition dunk contests didn't have the same pop, but the ratings are in from Sunday afternoon, and the NBA All-Star game itself, despite me not loving the Stars, Stripes, World, the whole format thing, it by and large worked. Does it feel like the NBA has finally found a proper compromise to rebuild All-Star weekend and have a true bang-up smash event?
I do think the shorter games makes a difference, right? Because like you can't have blowouts, you can't have crazy extended run, and the one quarter that generally had been good in the All-Star game was like the fourth quarter. As the teams, maybe if the game was close, they would try a little bit. So it's like, why not just have 4 fourth quarters? And I think that's kind of the thought process that they made here. I don't know if these squads themselves are going to always make sense. Maybe it could be fun to like rotate some of the teams or rotate some of the like the definitions of like who's on what team. I think that could maybe be interesting and give a little bit more to it. But I do think that the shorter games really helps. Players don't get tired. Players feel like they can kind of give a little bit more effort. And it seemed like that was one of the comments even coming out, just that like the shorter games help. And like honestly too, it's that Wemby tried. And when you have one guy that's coming in there and it's like, I'm going to embarrass you if you don't try, there's no bigger motivator for a lot of these guys than embarrassment compared to anything else.
That's a great, Joe, you hit the nail on the head here. Again, Joe Delera, Action Network HQ, Cash That Podcast on the Drake Toll Show. That's one thing I mentioned this week. Like, Kobe, right? You read the box score from the All-Star game in 2003. He set the tone that even in an exhibition like this, you're going to play. Like that, you'll play at the highest level, you have effort. Victor Wembanyama has set that tone now to me. Like I love watching the Spurs this season because the intensity they play with on the possessions, namely when he's in the game. Is that creating a true championship contender in San Antonio, or are they still a year or two away?
I feel like they're a year or two away, and it has nothing to do with the talent on the roster. A lot of it has to do with just that playoff experience. So Wemby, incredible, obviously. De'Aaron Fox, we've seen him have a ton of clutch games. Steph Castle looks good. Like, the team looks really good. The concern that I have for them is that when you go into the postseason, and we've seen this now with like multiple champions in a row, where they're tested the year before, something kind of goes wrong, or like a button like gets pushed on them, or like something's exploited defensively, offensively, whatever it is, and then they kind of need to regroup, and then they're able to win. I think for me, looking at the San Antonio team, I'm sure that there are things that, I'm not an NBA coach. Like, I'm not the best with the X's and O's, as good as I think I am, right? But I'm sure that there's things that have been kind of saved against the Spurs team where they say, like, maybe we can push this button. Maybe we can say, like, we can make Steph Castle the scorer. That won't really work in the postseason. Or there's something that we can do to kind of disrupt Wemby a little bit. Those are all things that a lot of times aren't fleshed out in the regular season and only come to light in the postseason. So that's my concern when you're in a stacked Western Conference and with a lot of good coaching, that there might be something that's able to be exploited that wasn't necessarily foreseen during the regular season, just because it is like a little bit of a different challenge in the regular season versus the postseason. So I think that, sure, they definitely can make a lot of noise when you have the talent that they have, especially with Wemby. But I do have some concerns for like the longevity of their run this season.
Joe, 24-1. That's where the Thunder sat, and you kind of wondered if anybody in the world would bring them down. And since then, they've looked much more human in the National Basketball Association. But at the same time, they lead the West. And if things click at the right, I wouldn't even put that caveat on it. Just in general, does the title still run through Oklahoma City?
Yeah, I think you have to say that it does. They've only really played, which is somewhat concerning, but they've only played like 50 minutes with their normal starters together this season. So they really haven't played together. And I do think that they're kind of in a position where they're like, look, like we got to get these guys healthy. If we lose a couple extra games, we lose a couple extra games. But the main thing is we know that we can go through the postseason. We know that we're, battle tested. We've won a championship. I think you have to say that the road goes through them, because at the end of the day, the coaching's good. They have a ton of depth, and it's insane, honestly, that they have the record that they do with all the injuries that they've been dealing with. I mean, Jalen Williams has barely played this season, and they look great. So I think you have to say that it goes through Oklahoma City, regardless of some of the issues that they've been having lately.
Let's keep it out west. The Lakers LeBron saga. I personally would not count the Lakers out of contention in 2026. I don't think the Lakers would count themselves out of contention, but there's this looming question mark of LeBron. That storyline has taken over for the team. Do you think, in Joe Delera's opinion, he'll be back in Los Angeles next season?
If I had to guess, I think that he might go to Cleveland. I know, some of the betting markets that have like his next team, it's basically a split between the Lakers and retire or go to Cleveland. It really wouldn't shock me at all to see him slot in with this Cleveland roster, maybe on like a vet minimum deal or something like that, do a retirement tour and call it a day. Because he honestly, too, when you look at what Cleveland's got, he's kind of their missing piece. Like they don't have like a 3 or like a 3-4 type of guy. I think they really need Mobley to start playing the 5. And if you got a guy like LeBron, which is on like a minimum contract, your team is just going to be better. No matter what you say about him being older, aging, anything, he's not a minimum player. So I think that, to me, it seems like the way the narrative around the team has been, I think the Lakers probably want to just regroup around Luka and try to move in that direction. And I think LeBron might want to get that homecoming again in Cleveland.
NBA insider Joe Delera on the Drake Toll Show, Westwood One Sports, the Westwood One Sports app. Joe joins us from Action Network HQ, Cash That Podcast. Joe, out east, man. Like there's bad, and then there's starting 1-13 and seeing your season just completely fall apart, like the Indiana Pacers. I mean, yeah, regression maybe, but this is extreme. What if you got to go 30,000-foot view here? What happened to the Pacers?
I mean, you don't have Tyrese Halliburton. That's what it is here. Tyrese Halliburton, as much flack as people kind of give him, I mean, the dude had them 1 win away from beating the Thunder in the NBA Finals, and then he tore, he had that catastrophic injury. So I think that when you look at that, the way that the offense was structured, everything about it was revolving around him. The team was built for him. The team was built for his strengths. And when you don't have that type of offensive engine and creation for everybody else, the team is going to fall apart. So I think you have that. And then I think coupled with the fact that they've had a variety of different injuries this season. And then now some of these injuries are, the tank coming in a little bit.
Right.
But, you have Rick Carlisle, who is in a position where he's saying, like, he's aware of what's going on. He knows his job's safe because he's such a highly regarded coach. And he's like, look, we're in Indiana. Like, if we're bad, this might be our best shot at getting somebody to pair with Halliburton for the next however many years. Like, we need to be bad. So you have an organization that's okay with this. And like, I bet under 21.5 wins plus money right now, because I just don't think that they're going to get there. I think they're going to do everything in their power to lose these games and get the best draft pick that they possibly can.
So that was all a segue into this tanking conversation. You lose Halliburton, but there's a difference in losing a star player and, middling out or going 15-40. This feels intentional. If you're Adam Silver in the NBA, and I've heard a lot of really stupid ideas on how to fix this tanking thing. Number one, is there truly a tanking problem? And two, if so, how do we fix it?
I mean, I think the problem is that the way, like, the collective bargaining agreement is structured, the way that you have, we've seen this now over the past couple of seasons. Like, New York, for example, did not do a full tank. They tried to do a rebuild, and it's worked. But if you look at Oklahoma City, for example, they were horrible for years because they were tanking. We've seen Philadelphia do it, too. And the windup is, it's not always effective. Like, you might get good. You might not ever win a championship, though, and it's like, is that really worth it? So I do think that some of these teams, especially like the smaller market teams, it's definitely harder, I think, to generate good free agency for your team. So like especially if you're not a destination. But at the same time, it does, I think, degrade the regular season product. And I think that's where it kind of comes into a lot of the ring culture debate and just saying, well, like, the only thing that matters is the postseason. The only thing that matters is the postseason. Now you want everybody all of a sudden to care about the regular season. And it kind of does send a little bit of a mixed message. So, to fix tanking, I don't know. You probably have to do something with the draft. Then maybe, if you're in the lottery one year, if you're in the top 3, you can't be there for a couple more seasons, something to that effect. But they're all going to be problematic, and all the owners are going to complain about it because they're going to say, well, you didn't give us notice of this. Like, we've been building our team around this concept for however many years, and then now you're going to tell us you're changing the rules. So there's always going to be pushback, I think, in that regard.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, and not A, the only sport we've seen it in, or B, the only time we've seen it aggressively in the NBA. It feels to me, Joe, like one of those things that I'm not sure anybody was genuinely, truly, terribly bothered by. But the more you tell them you should be bothered by this, the more America goes up in arms and says this is a problem, though it's happening in every sport and will always happen, and there is no fix. We just believe it to be a problem because everyone tells you it's such a big problem. Before we roll you out, Joe, the futures in the NBA, if you got to nail down a champion, I know you mentioned Oklahoma City. Anybody else in strong contention out of the West, the East, that you say, you know what, OKC will go down or can go down to this organization?
Yeah, so I obviously I'm a Knicks fan, so I love the Knicks. So I won't give you that biased answer.
There you go.
What I do think is there's a couple markets out there where you can bet division of NBA champion, and it's a juiced number, but I like betting on the Northwest. It's like minus 165. Yeah. And the reason I like that is you're getting Oklahoma City, you're getting Denver, you're getting Minnesota. And I think if you look at the Western Conference, there's a pretty good chance that the 3 of them don't even play each other in the first round. And they all, I think, might be favored to even advance into the next round. So to me, I think it lets you corner the market pretty well. And it does give you some optionality in terms of who your teams are. And it gives you 3 really good teams to root for or to bet on and back in the NBA playoffs. So I like division of winner Northwest Conference, like minus 165. It's not the most fun pick there, but I do think you're getting a lot of value with those 3 teams.
That's it. See, even better, right? There is the parlay. Put it all together and make it easier for yourself, better odds for yourself. Lastly, this is a question that Kevin Harlan got on our show. We've built a running bit out of this after Kevin Harlan was asked a couple months ago on Super Bowl week, Con Knippel or Cooper Flagg, who is your rookie of the year?
It's Cooper Flagg to me. I think that he has been having a tremendous season. I think that the responsibility that he has, especially given the injuries for Dallas, has been tremendous. and he's been doing it really without a point guard, as he's kind of been the point guard. So I think that Cooper Flagg is the guy. The numbers are incredible. And as good as Khan is, a lot of it, I think, is helping him is the fact that he's got some really good teammates around him that can take a little bit of the pressure off, set him up as well. So I think Cooper Flagg's been really doing it, and he's the guy that had the expectations coming into the season as well.
Joe Delera at Joe Delera on Twitter. Find him at Action Network HQ. Cash that podcast. Joe, thank you so much for being gracious with your time.
For sure. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Catch that LeBron deal there? Oh, the Cleveland Cavaliers. Joe Delera. Might have just landed himself in our top 3 this week. Probably did. Probably did. Coming up. We all have vices in life. We all feel the need, the urge to venture out and love our sister-in-law. At least that's the case for one MLBPA executive who is out. Fired guy. What did he do? This is Westwood One Sports and the Westwood One Sports app. This is the Drake Toll Show.
Westwood One, baby.
Will
She's so kissable, huggable, lovable, unbelievable. She's a mouthful of anything and everything a man could want. Yeah. She ain't typical, she's unpredictable, she's available. It's a miracle how my heart stumbled into someone so kissable, huggable, lovable, unbelievable. I would find someone so elegant, intelligent, heaven sent, all my money spent. I put a big down payment on that itty bitty diamond ring. She's so beautiful, it's indisputable, it's undeniable. She's got a have a bob. She's music to my ears and makes my heart sing. So kissable, huggable, lovable, unbelievable. Start to stutter. She's so elegant, intelligent, heaven sent, all my money spent. I put a big down payment on that itty bitty diamond ring. Oh, she's so beautiful, it's undisputable, it's undeniable. She's gotta have a bob. She's music to my ears and makes my heart sing. So kissable, huggable, lovable, unbelievable. Kissable, huggable, lovable, unbelievable. Kissable, huggable, lovable, unbelievable. homecoming queen in tight denim jeans, fixed with a southern drawl. Likes fried green tomatoes, cornbread and potatoes, and she doesn't have a single flaw. She could program computers or get a job at Hooters, make imagination run wild. Fulfill my wishes, knock me down with kisses, and put me to sleep with a smile. She's champagne in a Dixie cup, catfish caviar, a Georgia peach, firm as sweet, packed in a mason jar. She makes cotton look like silk, you ought to see her in my truck. But she's got all of everything, champagne in a Dixie cup. Find a place in the country, raise some little pumpkins, listen to the robins sing, talk about the way.
Should be the kind of guy to get a day job. 9 to 5, you're gonna take off. You're gonna go against the grain. Never thought you'd be the kind of guy to take a safe route. By and by, you're gonna break out.
Hey, everybody.
The world's gonna know your name.
Addie Bates. Curtis Poindexter. Did You Think by Arlie. Addie, is that a new one for you?
Yeah, it is.
Count it. Add it to the catalog.
Look at that.
Banger.
One new one. One new one.
Yep. There's a
That's
song
the
you
first
didn't
new
know.
one. That's the first new one.
Ever? Ever?
On this show, yeah.
Wow. No. Every Girl by Turnpike Troubadours. Late October,
okay.
San Antonio. Yeah, that's a new one for you.
Yeah, those were two. And then the one by your Bananas friend. But that I don't really count that one.
Yes. My July, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
Curtis, you ever heard that one? You big Arlie guy?
Actually, when I did play it, it did sound familiar, actually. So I think I have heard it before.
Yeah. I could see it's got a California vibe. When I was in college, my best friend's from Orange County. So I'd go out there and learn a thing or two. Took notes, started wearing white Vans.
Don't you still wear white Vans?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I never
Damn,
graduated.
Drake.
I love it. Yeah, I love a good white Vans. I'm watching the Olympic event now. It's live. The Olympics are live right now. I'm watching the Olympic event where the person has to ski down the mountain. And they have to touch a bunch of poles.
Touch
And
yourself.
I'm not really sure the objective here. Is it touch the most poles?
No, but you have to hit each one, and then you want to go down like the.
They need you to take, a shot from the front and the back, whatever it is.
Okay. So you have to hit each one?
Yeah, like with the left and right, and you want to do that the quickest.
Okay, and touches all of them.
Yeah, you want to touch all of them,
Oh.
and you want to do it the quickest.
Speaking of touching,
Touch yourself.
close your eyes.
No, I don't like I didn't like the deep breath going into this. I didn't like that. I didn't like that.
Close your eyes. Close your eyes and picture your 55-year-old male. Medium build. Normal. Slight facial hair. You're balding a bit, but it's fine.
Long beard.
You're 55, right? You should give up on it anyway. And in your 55-year-oldness, you look over across the room, and for the first time ever, in just the right lighting, well, that girl's really pretty. That woman, that female, she caught your eye. So you say, hey, you're pretty cute. She says, I don't know, you're pretty cute too. And You two hit it off. You decide to leave, get out of there, leave the bar, head back to your place. One thing leads to another. Her hand's on your thigh. And you guys do what adults do. When two people love each other. Open your eyes. That was your sister-in-law. That was your brother's wife. Yeah. Feel gross now, huh? Well, that is the exact feeling of the MLB Players Association director, Tony Clark, who was forced to resign yesterday because he was doing a little 1-2 love-a-roo with his sister-in-law. Yeah, on a scale of 1 to things you can do, maybe don't. We have autonomy, God-given free will. Don't use that free will to shag your sister-in-law. I have plenty more, both thoughts and explanation how this happened, thoughts on where to go next and why it matters. But why not hear from Chicago White Sox Davis Martin as he reacts himself to Tony Clark resigning?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think the players, like I said, players are the strength of this union. It's always been the strength of this union. And, we've all been in clear communication from this morning when we got the news. And just kind of shows where we're at as a union is that, from the bottom up, we're all pretty in line and our goals are very similar.
How important is it to have the right leader in place for this?
Oh, it's huge. But again, like I said, it's a players-run union. I mean, when the players are locked in together and the players understand what the goal is and the players know what they want to do, we'll be in a good spot.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's not really correct. It's not exactly the players that have been the strength of the MLBPA. They may feel that way, but as is any good organization, you need someone who calls the shots, someone to represent, someone who's in charge. One of the biggest reasons is the players are the ones paid to play. So they spend a majority of their time playing, getting ready to play, training, doing the games. So you need a director of the MLB Players Association to represent the players. But now you don't have a director of the MLBPA. And the reason you don't is because he thought his sister-in-law looked cute and then acted upon it. Here's where it gets worse. Let me give you a bit of a timeline here. Tony Clark, February 17th, 2026, yesterday, resigns as executive director of the MLBPA. 12 years. His tenure began in 2013. 12 years he served the role. Here's what you got to know about the departure. The quote is he had an inappropriate relationship after an internal union probe. The union probed him. And they found that Clark had an inappropriate relationship with his sister-in-law. Oh, and what's worse, because you can do that, again, America smiles upon you. The bald eagle says, whatever. What you cannot do, where the bald eagle will say, ooh, maybe not. What you cannot do is hire her or have her as your subordinate. The woman in question, the sister-in-law, was hired by the union in 2023 to work in the MLBPA's Arizona office. So now, the players, you just heard from one of them, the 8-man executive subcommittee, this whole group found this red line, nepotism, professional conduct, and they demanded immediately his resignation. And he followed through. Get ready to learn ED, buddy. That's EDNY. This is just like one thing. Apparently this guy's got a pretty checkered past and is being investigated for multiple other things. The Eastern District of New York, EDNY, has investigated Clark and the union since 2025. But why? Oh, prosecutors are looking into allegations of financial impropriety. Oh, and they involve One Team Partners, which is a licensing joint venture, and Players Way, a youth initiative. And what they found is that there may be licensing money that's meant to go to the players that has been completely diverted without the knowledge of the players to, as the quote reads, enrich union executives. Questionable spending is how we usually label these when it comes to a court of law. We're going to investigate you for questionable spending. That spending is taking money that was supposed to go to the players and giving it to yourself. So not only are you allegedly doing the dirty with your sister-in-law, your brother's wife, you are also being investigated for questionable spending because the players aren't getting the money that they were supposed to, and it seems like it's going into your pocket. That probe was all filed and triggered in November 2024 with an abuse of power and nepotism filing from the NLRB. And why this really, really matters. Addie Bates, will we play baseball in 2027?
Probably not.
Why
Enjoy
won't we play
2026
baseball?
while you can.
Why won't you play baseball?
I don't think we're not going to have it because here's the deal. Now your top negotiator, well, he's out now. He's out. They don't even have a new interim yet. They're going to talk about it today. Who knows if they're actually going to come to a conclusion. But December 1st, that's your deadline. We're probably not going to have baseball. If your negotiator just got fired or just got outed, yeah, good luck. Good luck there, guys.
A bloodbath. The timing of this whole thing's a bloodbath, too. The guy who's been in place, who's been doing his job for 12 years, the guy who's been around the block and is going to represent you in this collective bargaining agreement where the players want to make sure that they get a very fair shake from Major League Baseball. December 1st, the current CBA is up. Going into 2027, they have to renegotiate a collective bargaining agreement. Those are going to heat up this spring as they try to meet each other eye to eye. Owners want to push for a hard salary cap. Why? So that the Dodgers and the Mets cannot be blowing everyone else out of the water just because we have more money than you. That's what the owners want to do, by and large, because most owners aren't the Dodgers and the Mets. But the MLBPA, they say, hey, we don't want a hard salary cap because as the players, then we would be paid less. If you put a hard salary cap on this whole thing, then instead of one team being worth $1 billion, if the team can only be worth 450, 500 million, you're like, oh. Well, now the players get paid less. So the MLBPA doesn't want that. The owners do want that. And without a permanent leader, without somebody who's done this, without somebody to represent the players, there's no way we reach an agreement on a collective bargaining agreement. And if we don't have the CBA, we don't have baseball. Clark's the same guy that had an entire spring training tour on the books. The Cleveland Guardians, by the way, his first meeting that was scheduled, they canceled. They want you to know they canceled. So the union is now negotiating from a void. If you like Major League Baseball, if you appreciate sports at the highest level, you're not going to see it. You're not going to see this sport in 2027 due to the how long it's going to take, what it will take to sign a collective bargaining agreement. Bruce Meyer, union's deputy director, is expected to take over as the interim. And Marcus Simeon, Chris Bassett said they won't rush a permanent hire. They need stability before opening day. So if you're saying that you don't have stability, right, you need stability, you lack for stability, that's why you need stability before opening day, how can you say you have stability and the players have the control going into these negotiations in the spring? You're the players. You play in the spring. Someone else is going to have to. Someone else is going to have to build the case against the owners and win for the MLBPA because the one voice they've had for 12 years was getting dirty, doing a little something with his brother's wife, his sister-in-law. I assume brother's wife. Could be his sister's wife. Oh. Didn't think about that, did ya? Yep. Addie?
His sister's wife?
Uh-huh, sister-in-law, yeah.
Okay. Not his wife's sister?
Was it his wife's sister?
No one knows. No one
I'm going
knows.
to go with brother's wife. There's just no way it was wife's sister. I didn't even touch that. Oh.
Touch yourself.
Well, you didn't, but maybe he did.
I guess what's worse? Wife's sister or brother's wife? Oh, no.
Yeah. This is where it gets dicey.
I think wife's sister is worse.
Yeah, I mean, I would say both are equally as bad, actually.
Really? Equal? Huh.
Yeah, I do think both are frowned upon.
Well, if you think they're equal, ties are like kissing your sister in law.
I don't like this. Your Arkansas is showing.
That's good. That was a good one. Yeah, Tony Clark has resigned because he was doing dirty with his sister-in-law. What could have been either sister-in-law. Just ahead. Here's more on my favorite cheating scandal. I don't even think it was a cheating scandal. It's just nefarious scandal of a coach or an executive doing the dirty with someone they probably shouldn't. Hey, and then Tiger Woods returning to the Masters this year. And, oh, yeah, wow, Chris Paul retiring and then dogging the Clippers. All of those. Up next, right here, Westwood One Sports, the Westwood One Sports app. This is the Drake Toll Show.
Shake your body, baby, do that conga. No, you can't control yourself any longer. Come on, shake your body, baby, do that conga. No, you can't control yourself any longer. Come on, shake your body, baby, do that conga. No, you can't control yourself any longer. Feel the rhythm of the music getting stronger. Don't you fight it till you try to do that conga beat.
a sweet little body as you're rolling in the caddy with me.
Good morning. Drake Toll. The Drake Toll Show from the Savannah Bananas organization, Locked On Big 12. Watching the Olympics. Michaela Schifrin won. Yeah. Another goal of the U.S., baby. Love that. Also, breaking news, Curtis. Per Adam Schefter, Hannah Montana is back March 24th, Disney Plus. Addie, do you have any idea what this means?
Here we go again.
I saw her in concert when I was a kid.
Miley Cyrus or Hannah Montana?
Yes, both of them. And Allie and AJ opened up for her.
Oh, my.
It was supposed to be the Jonas Brothers, but then they got sick. Very sad time for Addie.
Wow. The Jonas Brothers were supposed to open?
Yeah, and then they got one of them. I think it was like Nick got sick, so then Allie and AJ were the replacement.
Huh. Okay. Great. Is this good for people that he's...
Yeah, it's, an anniversary special. Did you never watch Hannah Montana growing up?
Maybe one or two of them.
You had a sister.
I was a mature male.
Yeah, I'm sure you were.
Do you have a favorite family affair story?
Family affair story.
Yep.
Yeah, okay. Not my favorite, but probably the craziest one. Do you know who Sam Cooke is? He was a musician in the 60s. Iconic musician.
Yes.
Change is going to come. Okay,
Yep.
so he was shot, right? And his best friend, after he passed away, his best friend then married Sam Cooke's widow. Okay? And then years later, the widow of Sam Cooke, and now married to the best friend, caught the best friend and her husband at the time with her daughter. Yeah. Yeah, isn't that crazy?
That's some goodness gracious, great balls of fire. Who wrote that?
Jerry Lee Lewis.
Jerry Lee Lewis.
Big fan of a 13-year-old.
13-year-old cousin. And then this is the craziest thing. This is so awesome to me. His first child he names, do you know?
No.
Jerry Lee Lewis Jr.
Of course.
He would. Jerry Lee Lewis Jr. tragically dies. Okay, you following?
Mm-hmm.
Then, like 2 marriages later, Jerry Lee Lewis has another one of his few kids. He has another boy. Guess what he names it?
Jerry Lee Lewis Jr.?
Jerry Lee Lewis Jr.
Just restart.
Correct. You know what? This is the new one. I like it better.
Try it again.
I will keep this one.
Here we go again.
My true story, I want to get the pieces correct. Every Easter, I go to East Arkansas, to Devall's Bluff, Hazen area. It's the duck hunting capital of the world. And that family's super... So, for context, my granddad and my grandma are divorced, right? She owns a restaurant. She still is such a good cook. She's invited to that side of the family's Easter to cook the meal.
That's amazing.
So she goes to East Arkansas and cooks the meal for everybody, which is just, it's all is fair in love and family. And on that side, my dad's aunt and uncle were to, this is pretty crazy, were to get divorced because the uncle wanted to date their babysitter, their child's babysitter.
Oh.
So the babysitter said yes. He divorces his wife and marries the babysitter. So one year it's him and his wife. The next year, Easter, of course, the ex-wife is there, as is the babysitter wife. He divorces the babysitter and then marries the babysitter's grandma.
Stop.
Yes.
Stop it. This is your family? Your aunt and uncle or something? This is very Arkansas.
So all 3 of them have come to They're all welcome at Easter. If you're there, you're there. Another aunt went to prison, and when she got out, fell in love with one of the prison guards, and now I have 2 aunts
You know how it is. If my aunt had male parts, she'd be my uncle.
And she does Easter as well. So that's my favorite, like, close tie story that features infidelity.
Very
My
Arkansas.
favorite national one, Mark Adams, the former Texas Tech head coach. The characters of this story that I'm about to tell will be the court of law, Monica Adams, Mark Adams, Texas Tech University. So Mark Adams is an assistant for Chris Beard, who left Texas Tech or was fired. He was fired for domestic violence. So Chris Beard's gone at Texas Tech. They just promote Mark Adams to head coach, who was also pushed out after a racially insensitive comment to a player. That was the real story. But the real story is this. January 2021. Get ready, Curtis. Get ready. Mark Adams' twin brother. Yeah. Do we lose the gong? Do we lose our Curtis here?
I lost you here for a second.
Curtis, Drake, I think we lost you.
Yeah, we lost you.
Oh, well, I'm alive. I'm fine. Curtis, as the story goes, Mark Adams' twin brother, Kirk Adams, died. Yeah, there it is. So Mark, mourning his identical twin brother, turns his eyes toward Kirk Adams' wife. Mark would then divorce his wife of many years, with whom he had 2 children, and he would get married to his dead brother's wife widow. Oops. Rumors swirled in Lubbock, and donors were furious. Not furious because it was illegal. You can do that. It's allowed. America allows that. But donors were unhappy because the secret got out, and they were furious because it was really creepy. And it is really creepy. Elsewhere in sports today, less infidelity. More Tiger Woods at the Masters. He will not rule out a return to the Masters this year. Tiger, obviously, health issues over the course of the back end of his career have completely plagued his play and his ability to play. That 2019 Masters was kind of a crescendo of a career that spanned 2 decades, was elite for 2 decades. But I think that moment has passed. Addie, can I say something controversial?
Sure, why not?
I think if Tiger Woods played the Masters this year, he would shoot poorly, and it would just be a sad distraction to whatever actually happens at the Masters.
Victor Hovland's victory. Yeah, for sure. Victor Hovland's victory. I agree. I mean, it'd be like a
Why
cool
are you
comeback.
such a Victor Hovland fan, man? What's your deal with Victor Hovland, dog?
Have you seen him?
You just think he's hot?
Yeah, he's great at golf.
Dog, Scotty Scheffler's the greatest golfer in the world right now, and if you just turn your eyes to him, he's incredible. It's so fun to watch.
Yeah, but he's also not good looking to watch. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my gosh. This is
Touch yourself.
Wow. Thought you were an Arch Manning fan.
I am.
Yeah. And finally, Chris Paul retired. Did anybody know, like, if a tree falls in the woods and no one's around to hear it, did it make a sound? Did anyone realize Chris Paul retired?
Yes.
When did the story break? Like,
While
no one
you were
cared.
on vacation.
No one cared Chris Paul retired. Yeah, and so it was like, hey, man, you hear Chris Paul retired? All right, great. And we moved on. Like, he did 10 years ago, 12 years ago, I would have put Chris Paul in the conversation. Hall of Famer. He'll have a big send-off, retirement party. No one in the league wants him. Deposed NBA player, Chris Paul. All right, time for Weird Wednesday. The weirdest headlines the last 48 hours in the world. Yeah. Addie, you want to go first?
No, you go first.
Okay, I'll go first. Exasperated seabird. An injured seabird in Bremen, Germany. A cormorant skipped his 911 call, walked to the emergency room, and was found pecking at the glass door of the ER. till the hospital called the fire department, and he was taken to a rehab center. So the hospital did nothing to actually help him, but a bird found his way to the ER to ensure that he would remain alive. Addie, your turn.
Punch, the viral lonely monkey, has now been hugged and groomed by an adult monkey for the first time.
Monkey.
Zoo staff previously gave him a little plushie as comfort because he was struggling to fit in with the other monkeys, and his mom abandoned him. But Punch has friends now.
I mean, yeah, I guess that's weird-ish. What is this music? Why is it kind of ominous?
Have you never heard this song?
It's the same one since we started.
I have. It's like that.
You got this. That's okay.
It's like the Mario. When you play Mario and you go into like the Dark Castle round.
Drake's
That's what it feels like.
every single time we have a segment and there's a music bed, he's like, I've never heard this before, and it's actually just been the same thing for the past 2 months.
Yeah.
She blinded me
Lizard
with
in a
science.
blizzard. Large exotic lizard. No, I have no idea what that means. Buried in 20 inches of snow in Rhode Island. A tegu lizard, a species that belongs in a tropical rainforest, was found alive but confused under 2 feet of snow in a massive northeast storm. Weird but true. Tell your friends. $16.5 million. It's a piece of cardboard. Logan Paul's Pikachu Illustrator Pokemon card sells for a record $16.5 million at auction. Everybody's complaining. Eggs, gas, produce. But somebody out there has $16 million for a single holographic card of yellow electric mouse. Or whatever Pikachu is.
Wait, Drake?
Rat.
He has a paintbrush.
Curtis, I need a breaking news stinger. Breaking news, the Olympic Village has been given more free condoms.
Oh!
It's been restocked after the shortage.
What would Fernando Mendoza say about that?
They need me to take, a shot from the front and the back, whatever it is.
Do anything for my team. I'll do anything for the USA. Whatever it takes. And finally, grandparent cannibalism. Students cook and serve grandparents. That's the headline at a school event this week. Students cook and serve grandparents. They're supposed to cook and serve for the grandparents, but it sounds like they're going to feed you their grandparents. Addie Bates produces. Curtis Poindexter runs the board. I got to go to work. Love you guys. Have fun. Nick Costos we'll get you there with You Better, You Bet. Thanks to Armin Williams, Bruce Gilbert, Colin Jones. 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. tomorrow. We'll see you again. This has been, and it always will be, The Drake Toll Show.